Hello friends, in continuation of our deadlock series, our next topic of discussion is deadlock avoidance. In the last lecture, we have discussed the concept of deadlock prevention. So in deadlock handling strategies, our next strategy is deadlock avoidance. Okay. So how deadlock avoidance works? Let us take it in detail. So the funda is, it requires that the system has additional prior knowledge or prior information of the use of resources by processes. Okay, how can we do it? The simplest model says that each process declares the max number of resource types or resources it may need in future. Okay, now on the basis of this max number of resources and some more criterias, the deadlock avoidance creates a resource allocation state. Okay, this resource allocation state is nothing but the idea of the number of available, allocated and max demand of process. This is called as the collection of all this information is called as resource allocation state. Okay, now on the basis of this resource allocation state, the system find out or check whether the system is in safe state or not. Okay, now what is the funda of this safe state? Safe state is defined, or we can say a system can be in safe state if there exists a safe sequence of all processes Now, what is the meaning of this safe sequence? Safe sequence means a particular sequence or the order in which processes can be finished or can finish their execution, successfully. Okay. However, this safe sequence or ordering, the point which we want to mention here is this ordering may be changed. Okay. So, or we can say this sequence may be changed at particular time. Okay. So this is how we avoid the deadlocks, or this is the process of avoiding the deadlocks. Okay. Now, if we go into the further details of this deadlock avoidance, then on the basis of this deadlock avoidance, we can say if we have found a safe state, then the basic facts about it are, if the system in safe state, if the system is in safe state, then there will not be a deadlock, or we can say simply no deadlock. And if the system is not in safe state, that is, we define it as unsafe state, then there is a possibility of deadlock, not exactly a deadlock. There may be a possibility, okay, or possibility of deadlock. Okay, so the fund of avoidance is about the ensuring, or it ensures that system never enters in unsafe state. Okay, so these are some basic facts about deadlock avoidance. Now, if we take a look at the diagrammatic structure, then we can define our system in two states. That is, first state is safe and second state is unsafe. And deadlock is the part of unsafe state, or we can say deadlock is a substate of unsafe state. Now let us consider an example to understand it more clearly. Consider we have a system that is having 12 tape drives as resource and 3 processes. Okay, now on the basis of that, suppose at particular moment the system state is given like this. We have processes, we have max need of the processes and the allocated one. Okay, so we have 3 processes, so let us consider them as P0, P1 and P2, and suppose their max need are 10, 4 and 9, and the allocated resources are 5, 2, 2. Okay, now we have to check whether this system is in safe state or not. So our question is the system safe? Is the system safe? How can we answer this question? To answer this question, we have to find out this safe sequence. Okay, so to find out the safe sequence, let us check whether we are having any safe sequence in which processes can be executed. We can see for P0, the allocated resources are 5 and the max need is 10. So it further need 5 resources. Similarly, here the max is 4 and allocated is 2. So in future it will need 2, and similarly in future it will need 7. Okay, and how many resources we have total? In totality we have 12 tape drives, and currently allocated ones are 5 plus 2 plus 2, that is 5 plus 2 7, 7 plus 2 9. So available status, out of 12, 9 are allocated, so available will be 12 minus 9, that is 3. 3 resources we are still having to be allocated. Now if we see, with these 3 resources the need of P0 cannot be fulfilled, so the process P0 will wait initially. Now if we check about P1, we have 3 resources and it needs 2. Okay, so if we allocate 2 resources to it, its need will be done and its allocation will be further 2 allocation, so it will be 4. so that it can be finished. So initially P1 will execute. Okay, now take a look closely. We have 3 resources. We have allocated 2 resources to this process. So in total allocation here, total allocation will be 4. So this process max need is fulfilled, and so this will be executed. So once this process executes, it will release its allocated resources. So allocated resources are 2. So availability will be increased by 2 after P1, once P1 is finished. So it will be 5. Okay, now with the 5 we can fulfill the request of P0. So next in the safe sequence, next process is P0, which will be executed. Okay, so if we allocate this 5 resources to this, the total allocation will be 10. So its max need is fulfilled, so it will be executed. Okay, now once this process gets executed, it will release its allocated resources. So the allocated resources will further will increased by 5. So total allocated will be 10. Okay, now out of 10 resources we can allocate 7 to this, because its need is 7. So that if we add 2 plus 7, it will be 9, which is equal to max need. So this can also be executed easily. So once this process is executed, it will release its resources 2. So this is executed, so we'll add it into the sequence as P2. So the final available will be 12, which is equal to the initial 12 tape drives. Okay, this is how we can verify our answer. So and we are getting the safe sequences P0, P1, P0 and P2. So as we are getting the safe sequences P1, P0 and P2, so our system is in safe state. So answer will be safe state. So this state is safe. Okay, now let us add some more complications to it. Okay, now assume that at any particular moment P2, this P2 process requests one more resource, that is tape drive, and gets allocated. Okay, so its new state will be, new system state will be like the process, its max need and its allocation. Okay, the process we are having as P0, P1 and P2, and we can copy it from here, copy them from here. The max needs are 10, 4, 9. So 10, 4, 9, and allocations are 5, 2, and we have said that P2 requests additional resource and it is allocated, so it will be increased by 1, so 3. So it is 5, 2, 3. So the new allocation is 5, 2, 3. Okay, and total tape drives, we were having total tape drives given in question are 12. Okay, so now let us look at the total allocation till now. So total allocation is 5 plus 2, 7 plus 10, 3. Okay, so what is the need of each resource, each process? So its need is allocation is 5, max is 10. So 10 minus 5 is 5. It is 4 minus 2, 2, and it is 9 minus 3, that is 6. Okay, so we have total 12 tape drives and allocation is 10. So availability is 12 minus 10, that is 2. 2 tape drives we are still having with us. So with 2 tape drives, which processes need can be fulfilled, we can see here that we can fulfill the request of P1. So initially in a safe sequence we are having P1. So when P1 is finished, it will release its resources. So it will be increased by 2. So available resources will now be 4. But now we can see with these 4 resources we cannot fulfill the request of P0 as well as P2. Okay, we are having the available resources 4, but its need is 5 and its need is 6, so we cannot fulfill any one of the request. Okay, so we are not getting any further safe sequence. So after P1 neither P0 will execute nor P2 will execute, so we are not getting any safe sequence. Okay, so the system is in unsafe state. So the system is getting into unsafe state. So to avoid this unsafe state, what we will do, we will not increase the allocation by 1, because its previous allocation was 2 and we have granted the request by 1, so its new allocated state is now 3. So what we will do, we will take the rollback and we will not grant this additional request, so that by which we can avoid our deadlock to occur in the system. Okay, so this is how we avoid the deadlocks to occur in the system, and I hope you got the examples. So in the further lecture, in the next lecture, we'll discuss the very popular algorithm for deadlock avoidance, which is called as Banker's algorithm. Banker's algorithm. This Banker's algorithm works for the multiple resources. Multiple resources. Okay, as you can see in this example, we are only having one resource, that is a tape drive with 12 instances, but resource count is one only, one tape drive. So in this Banker's algorithm, we will be having number of tape drives, that is R1, R2, R3 and so on. Okay, so that is all for now. In the next lecture, we'll be entering into its advanced part, which is called as Banker's algorithm. So till now, if you have any query, you can ask in our comment section, and if you like our videos, then kindly subscribe and share our channel. Thank you so much.